Spurs Bros, welcome into the Spurs Bros podcast. This is episode 33 today. Got a lot to go through actually. We hit 100 subscribers, so we have a t-shirt to give away as promised. Tune in to see if you're the winner there. But aside from that, this last week has actually had a lot of things going on. Stephon Castle, first team all rookie certified. We're also going to talk about all our different trade ideas for Giannis. Should we trade back? Should we take Harper? What are the packages that things might look like? A lot of stuff to talk about as far as what's going to happen surrounding that number 2 pick. At the end, we get into a little bit of Spurs bench Mount Rushmore, our top 4 Spurs players to come off the bench all time. So hit the like button, hit subscribe, help us to keep growing. We're doing another giveaway at 400 subs. Let's get right into it. Episode 33 coming at you right now.
Spurs Bros, welcome to episode 33 of the Spurs Bros podcast, the Boris Diaw episode. Let's go. How are we doing today, boys?
Doing good, doing
Good
good.
fellas.
Hey, shout out to a couple other 33s, Antonio Daniels and Trey Jones
Yep,
recently. But yeah, I think as Stuart just called him a second ago, Bobo, the GOAT 33 for the Spurs.
absolutely. That's
Gotta be.
a freaking guy, dude.
It might be a disgrace to even talk about Trey with the other two, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as I love Trey and I loved who he was, his personality and his character and who he was as a point guard, you're right, dude. The other two legends, they've obviously won rings. Bobo, no, exactly. Nobody talks about how important Bobo was to our roster to that run in 2014, man. Like that guy was off the charts so good. Like that was our X factor in many cases, if you think about it, because
Yep.
nobody could stop him. His craftiness and he could just dish down.
The
He'd hit a
LeBron
range three.
stopper.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, and then LeBron stopper. Yeah,
Big body.
This
yeah.
fat boy just rolling around, bumbling, stumbling into people. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
and he came in after we won the ring in 2015. Coach Pop said he was just out of shape. He drank too much wine over the. Gosh, man. I love it. I love that guy. But hey, Spurs Bros, we just got to say a huge thank you to all the listens and all the plays and all the new subscribers over the past week or so. We really appreciate you guys. Please stick around for the ride. We're growing. I hope you want to grow with us. And we're going to be coming at you every week this summer. So please stick around for it all. We've got quite a few things to talk about. Nothing earth shattering yet. This is sort of the dog days of summer as we get into the end of the NBA season. We got Eastern Conference, Western Conference finals as we're recording today. And so then now it's kind of like the dead days of summer, right before the draft and right before free agency starts. We've got this sort of weird time where we're kind of just sitting in the weird middle. So
Just left out. No
yeah,
playoffs, no draft yet. It's just like for Spurs, it's dog days. Obviously, there's conference finals going on, but
for
like
sure.
Yeah.
as far as Spurs are concerned, it's kind of like, all right, what else is going on? But there's stuff happening, so let's get into it.
Let's actually get into it. And you know what? Let's actually start with we forgot to do this. After we got our 100 subscriber last week, we didn't do the giveaway. So I think we should just start with that if you're cool with it. Reagan, I don't know if you've got the wheel going, what we've kind of set up in preparation for this, but for the Spurs Bros who are just listening, we are giving away it's a Spurs retro t-shirt. And then next time, before you share your screen, Reagan, we've got Spurs Bros merch hats. Let's go. Super clean, white with a little black whatever it's called, lace.
Hat band, yeah.
Hat band. Yeah, I think you'll love it. So we'll do that once we get our 400th subscriber, and we're about 3/4 of the way through that. So, but yeah, without further ado, Reagan, I say let's just
Yeah.
get into it.
All right, yeah, I got the screen up and ready here with the people that have their subscription set as public. So it's going to be one click, one spin. Whoever pops up is our winner. We'll get in touch with you guys to get this sent out. Three, two, one.
Here she goes. Slowing down, slowing down.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Nick
Nick,
NBA.
NBA.
Nick NBA, congratulations, my friend. You have just won yourself a Spurs shirt. So, my friend, thank you so much for being a subscriber. We're going to get in contact with you after we release this episode.
Hey, I actually know who Nick is. He's got his own YouTube channel and he's part of
Oh,
our Peach Basket family.
Oh,
Um,
sick.
one of the other content creators for the Peach Basket.
hey,
Um,
fair draw is a fair draw.
fair draw is a fair draw. Yeah, he's gonna get a sick Spurs t-shirt. Hopefully, he reps it on one of his videos. Go give Nick a subscription though, y'all, and let him know that the Spurs Bros family is tuning in. But anyways,
Congrats to Nick. Let's keep it rolling. All right, boys. Next in line is to talk about something that is not, I guess it's not a surprise to us at this point, but Stephon Castle was officially named first team all rookie. He was the only unanimous vote in this year's class, which is pretty cool. Congrats to Stephon Castle.
And he's not settling. We've already all seen the videos. He's already putting in hella work. We love
Yes.
to see it. Whether that has to do with us getting the number 2 pick and Harper coming in, maybe that'll push him a little more. But we would like to assume no matter what this summer he was going to make big leaps, and he's already putting in work. There's all the videos of him in the gym working on shooting, finishing at the rim. Love to see it.
Oh my God.
yeah, and hey, like Alex said, he's the only unanimous winner for first team all rookie. He had 100 out of 100 first place votes. Reese
Jeez.
Shea had 99, Wells had 96, Zach Edey had 73. A couple others were close, but Stephon was the only one that had a unanimous vote for first team all rookie this year. Just kind of add that to the list of his rookie season accomplishments.
That's just the cherry on top for sure. And yeah, Stuart, kind of go back to what you were saying. You're right. All the Spurs Bros community, hopefully they're watching as closely as we are. If not, then maybe that's why they come to us to watch stuff. But for those Spurs Bros who didn't see, yeah, Stephon Castle has been seen in the. This tends to get overhyped, right? Everyone starts posting their summer workout videos and like their highlight clips. Like
Ben
if you're in the
Simmons.
NBA, you're gonna look good in an open gym with two trainers with you, feeding you the ball and stuff. But it is really cool to see him working on the stuff that we think that he should be working on, right? So like he was working with this guy, he's called the guard whisperer, who was known for working out with guys and training guys like, wait for it, SGA, and guys like Evan Mobley, just to name a couple of guys. He was just working on shot creation, mid post, post range stuff, outside shooting, working on balance and shot timing, which is all super, super, super important to becoming a consistent outside, shooter that we wanted to be going into next season. So just that small little snippet, like I know that he's working on the right things, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, it's cool. It's hitting the corner threes and everything, and those catch and shoots are going to be something he's going to have to improve on and be ready to do because of all the gravity that Fox and Wemby are going to pull. He's going to have some open looks from three and got to be ready to shoot them and knock them down.
And we saw him already improving throughout last season. The more he played and the more he took threes, you could tell he definitely had a green light from Mitch, just saying when you're open, just shoot it. He started launching threes a lot towards the end of the season, and more started to fall. But yeah, dude, after a whole summer of just putting in 1,000 shots a day, oh, I can't wait for him next year.
Because that's what he's going to do too. Like that's
Definitely.
Oh, he's going to work his ass off.
Work ethic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to come back stronger, faster, and a better shot.
Yeah, with the timing.
I mean, that video posted, and then the next day he posted an Instagram story in Spain, like at an infinity pool, like in the hillside, whatever.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, he found a gym at 6 a.m. or whatever once he was off the jet lag, and like I guarantee you, he's still gonna go work out in Spain, pretty much every day.
Hopefully, he drags Jeremy with him to the workout. You saw Jeremy was there with him.
Well, yeah, and Jeremy too was just got done representing the NBA in the Philippines. He was in Manila, and they kind of picked him as like the representative for the whole, couple day extravaganza they had. They had different events, charity events, media availability. He was working out, shooting, engaging with fans, whatever, and they did this long interview with them. He was like, "I've got something to prove. I've been working on my shot, when we're working on my reads, understanding how different bigs are going to be defending me, different situations, because there's a lot of new things that's going to happen next year." Sounded really hungry in this interview that he sat down and did for the win. Had that interview over the weekend, so go check that out on For the Win. But yeah, I'm excited for Jeremy, man. It sounds like he's kind of got a fire lit under him, which I know anybody's going to say that, but if there's anybody that's got something to prove on this Spurs roster and like show us why you should get an extension,
right?
It's Jeremy Sohan. So
yeah. I wonder how much of it is like, hey, yo, it's contract year, right? Isn't it? Like, or extension year?
I think so, right? So yeah, he is under contract for next season because we picked up his fourth year option, his rookie extension. And then yeah, he's going to be a restricted free agent after next year.
Come on.
So this is kind of, go prove it kind of season for him.
Yep. Absolutely.
Go get that second contract, big boy.
Yeah.
See what you're made of.
Exactly. I think he can do it, man. And you and me, Reagan, I don't know about you, Stu, but I love Jeremy, right? He's one of the, other than Devin Vassell, the most polarizing player on the team. and I still love him and I love his value, even if it's just
That's a weird take.
what? Why?
Most polarizing guy on the team after Devin?
What?
I was gonna say the only thing I disagree with you, Alec, is that he's the most polarizing player on the team.
You
I
think
feel
so?
like,
What?
yeah.
Reagan? I mean, Stuart, who else?
Stuart, who are you talking about?
Everyone else?
You just
Polarized?
think it's so cut and dry that like Jeremy's ass?
Oh, you think he's bad? You think he's bad? Okay, see, that's what I was saying, right? Okay, so I was right. Reagan
This is
and Stuart
polarizing
and
because
I,
I think he's awesome.
Let's
Stuart's
see if he's even on
so
our
far
squad
here and
to
I'm
start
so
next
far
year.
there.
Let's see if he's on our squad.
he'll
I
be
mean,
on
that
our
can be said
squad.
about like 10 people right now. So, yeah.
Unless we go trade for Giannis, which we'll get into in a second. I mean, yeah, I think there's a good probability he'll be on our squad. Either way, I love him and I hope he does well over the summer. Let's just say that much. I just wanted to transition into Dylan Harper. There's kind of been some more since we recorded last week, some talk about him. You know, as our previous guest said, he said this is smokescreen season. So we're not really going to know what's real and what's just fake until basically the week of the draft or the day of the
The
draft when
day
stuff
of,
becomes
yeah.
finalized. But people are still talking about how the probability of us drafting him versus us shipping him, maybe trading back later in the lottery and also getting another player in return for the number 2 pick. I'm really curious to see that. But your thoughts, have y'all's thoughts changed? I mean, my thoughts are kind of changing week to week, what we do and what I'd want us to do, right? I think both are sort of changing for me kind of week to week or like day to day almost.
I think like at the very end of last week's episode, right before we logged off, I kind of said like, I think I'm out on Giannis. And as the full week has transpired, I think I'm probably like 75% I'm off of Giannis and 25% let's go for Giannis. I'm just worried about the Bucks GM, what is his name? John Horst came out and said he wants to gut the other team. That could be a smokescreen too,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be on the receiving end of some heated GM who wants to fleece in that transaction. I don't
Right.
want any part of that. I know we have a lot of equity and a lot of capital to make moves, but if the other side is looking to just completely gut our roster and all of our draft capital and everything that we've worked to stockpile, I don't want that. Why not break that up into a couple other deals that make more sense to build depth and not put us at such a financial burden in a couple of years when we have to pay Wimby and we have to pay Castle and Fox is then a question. So I'm leaning to let's not worry about Giannis. The portion that wants it still is if it's a good price.
Of course, if it's still good price, I don't think. I mean, it's got a question. We're not going to get fleeced. We're like we know. Even everyone was kind of talking about it last week, but like we're not going to get fleeced in the deal. We saw that we weren't even going to take. We once all the news came out, we weren't even going to take Fox if like they demanded more from us. But the way it all rolled out, that's why we got him because we weren't going to get fleeced by any means. So there's no way we get fleeced. I think it's crazy. I mean, you, Al, half the Spurs Nation is no, thank you to Giannis. Break this up, break that up. We don't want to lose our depth. What depth are we talking about? We don't have depth for once Wemby goes out every game, we get down by 15 points in a 5-minute span. We don't have all this depth that everyone keeps talking about. We have draft assets and some young guys who could be good in the future. We don't have any depth right now. I'm still 80, 90% in for Giannis.
Wow.
Even this gutting you talk about, gutting our fake depth that's ass that can't get
Okay,
us 35 wins
but
in a
instead
season.
of depth, if John Horst says Stephon Castle has to be in the deal or we're not talking,
No, we're not.
is
We're
your
not.
mind
We're
changed
not.
on that?
Stephon, we already on this. Stephon's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We have a
So
much greater chance of trading two than we do Stephon.
yeah, I mean, I think two is going to have to go. Like two
Yeah,
will 100% be in
but
there
we are
if
way
it's a
more
trade.
fine with that than us three, at least. I think we're all on the same page. We've talked about we're way more fine with that. A college guy hasn't proved himself at all in the NBA. Instead of giving away the already rookie of the year, he has proved himself over year one. We'd much rather trade away two than trade away
Two,
Castle.
Vassell, and some matching money with a few
Yeah,
other picks to
either
get Giannis.
Harrison, whoever,
Yeah,
Jeremy, whatever.
So
But
yeah.
I mean, to trade that when we know what they can produce for this team, what they have produced, I'm still all in. Why would you not take a 30-year-old Giannis in his prime? It makes zero sense to me. And everyone keeps talking about we'll be financially screwed in 3-4 years. It's not
Yeah, the other
that wouldn't
side of that
change
is for the next
regardless
three to
because
four years, we're immediately championship contenders, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
So what's
yeah,
I'd
So
rather even if we get one in the next 3 years. Hold on, Al. If we get one in the next 3 years, great. Then we get Wemby, this early one that like Timmy D had in his. I look at it as like Robinson to Timmy. It'd be Giannis to to Wemby. Get him that early one in his career. Make Wemby's life way easier, which we need to do because we saw what happened last 2 years. We need to make his life way easier. And I think Giannis would definitely do that. And then if we draft number 2 anyways, if he ends up being a star like we expect him to be, Harper, we're going to have to pay him his max extension of 4 years. So what's the difference in paying Giannis? Like, we're still going to be financially screwed in 4 years anyways after we pay Wemby, Castle, and then we'll have to pay Harper potentially in 4 years anyway. So what's the difference?
So you make some good points. I mean, we're kind of going on, and this is like a school of thought in like the NBA community, I think, at large, because of the whole, first and second apron stuff. Kind of what we've said on the podcast before, that the league is basically setting it up to where there's not many dynasties anymore, right? Not
you
like
get 2 stars, not 3. Yeah.
You get 2 stars, not 3. Or if you do get 3, then you have like a really short window to do it for a few reasons. Right. So there's the school of thought of like, do you have your main guy, your superstar guy, like, so it's Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and then do you just like go all in and then just try to win 1, 2, or 3 in that time span, knowing that you have to give it up later on down the road? Or do you just try to do what OKC's basically done, which is like draft, always like have the main guy and then have like talent that's supporting behind it, and then having young guys just kind of always in the mix, right? So
I think that has to be the prevailing like theory, is you go with the OKC model over the Boston model. Like Boston had a 2-year window.
But they haven't won.
But they're looking like right now,
and they're going to have to pay J-Dub and Chet in the next 2 years, both of them. So then they have 3 max guys on the team.
But they're a possible Giannis destination too.
If they lose, for
because of all the capital they have. If they win, dude, like, who cares? The money's the same. Like, especially if they win, then they're especially going to have to pay these guys. Like, dude, you're telling me they wouldn't ship out like Chet and I don't know, Lou Dort with one of their 40 picks and get Giannis?
Why I'm on the train of we should go get Giannis and trade these young guys, because they're all going to be due a contract eventually. Yeah. Chet's going to be due his max in 2 years. If they don't win, OKC doesn't win this year or next year, it was all for what then? Why didn't they go get Giannis and win a ship?
You think they'll pay Chet the max? I mean,
he's going to have the extended max, I'm sure.
He was first team all rookie.
Yeah.
And if they didn't offer it, he would just leave and take the max somewhere else.
It won't be a super max. It'll be a max extent, like max rookie scale.
Unless he won like DPOY next year, which will be Wemby. But unless he did some crazy shit next year, he won't get a super max. But
rookie scale max extension is what it'll be. And I don't know those numbers, but I think it's the 5/150 right now.
Yeah. See, okay. So, I mean, that's why I'm still leaning more just like build through what we kind of have. I'm kind of more on Reagan's side, but I'm like 65-35.
See, but again, I don't know. You're right.
I'm gonna come back next week and I'm gonna be like 100% all in on Giannis because I'm gonna hear something.
Yeah, my whole thing is if you win championships, and then again, when you win championships too, everyone's gonna want a bigger contract. Everyone like Jordan Poole, like all that type of shit.
Yeah.
Denver, how they had to gut once they won a championship. So I'd rather just win the championship and figure it out after, and have to get rid of guys. But hey, at least we won a championship. Right now, we're nowhere near that. Giannis can drastically change that. Getting Dylan Harper isn't going to change that next year.
But then what happens if we don't win a championship?
Well, we would have Giannis for at least 2 years. We'll win one in the next 2. And if we don't, we screwed up.
We've gone from not a playing
we're
team
immediate championship contender if Giannis.
You don't think if we get Al, if we get Giannis, you don't think we're immediate championship contender?
I mean, again, I think if we had like one more like shooter or sniper, like 1, 2 little minor pieces around those two. Yeah.
And if we get Giannis, we're going to go all in, so we would get those other pieces as well.
We can use the 14 million
we can use
non-tax exemption, and then we can go sign some guys on the veteran like market, whatever.
That'd be
like fill it in on the fringe at the trade deadline later in the season, and then the buyout market after that. Like there's ways to fill in on the margins there, but yeah, if you have Wemby, Fox, and Giannis on the same team, you're a top 4 team automatically.
For sure. Nobody's going to score on it. Like it'd just be
you think Shea's going to score on that?
Everyone will be playing Celtics ball against us, just shooting threes and hope they fall. Because you get in the lane, you're not finishing around Giannis and Wemby in there.
Or if you miss and Wemby or Giannis gets the outlet, like I mean, imagine like Wemby getting the board outletting to Giannis, God. Like down.
Imagine somebody else gets it and they kicked. Oh my God, Fox has got
Fox,
Giannis
the
and
fastest
Wemby on
guard
the
in the league. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
Shoot.
maybe I'm
All right, I'm
getting you
like
right now,
75
Reagan.
go for Giannis
Yeah,
now. You just
thank
flipped
you,
me, bro.
thank
That's what
you.
I'm saying. Like I'm so like wish-washy right now. I don't have a solid take yet.
I'm firmly, and I see it all over X. It's very much 50-50 right now. I'm very much on the side of it. You go for him. You win now. We don't know what the future holds. We're seeing, I mean, low key injuries happen all over. Dame, freaking JT's now out for a year and a half. I mean, while you have a healthy squad, you go try to win while you
Yeah.
can because you don't know what the future
Okay.
holds.
So let's say we don't go for Giannis,
Okay.
right? Like Giannis is out of the picture, but let's also say we're not so like we have an opportunity to trade two at the draft. We can
Yeah.
trade back, get an extra player, move a few spots down in the top 7 or 8.
Yep.
What are y'all's top trade ideas? Like, what would be the best thing that you can come up with as far as us trading back in the draft a few spots, getting a player, and maybe an additional pick back? What would y'all say? What would be number one on your list?
Yeah. So, well, yeah, this is really interesting because I think hot take that this is actually what's going to happen. I don't think we go for Giannis, and I don't think we draft Dylan. I
You think
think we do.
so?
Well, just because
We
I
get to
don't know.
depth.
Well, huh?
We get actual depth. We
Yeah,
trade. Yeah.
actual depth, and because Dylan is such a hot commodity, like everyone's talking on, like, yo, this guy could be, all NBA level. This guy could be this. You don't trade, 2 to 4 straight up, or 2 and 4 in a play. Like you need a lot to get to that number 2 spot.
Evan
Supposedly,
said it last week. If you trade two, you get an all-star coming back.
right? Exactly. That's what he said last week, and I've been seeing that around the town square. So I mean, like, if that's the case, we could really demand something. And you have, I know I'm probably reading the tea leaves a little too much, but like, Dylan Harper's dad, like Ron Harper, kind of being
Daddy
all
Harper ain't helping, and yeah.
yeah, exactly, being like, yeah, we'll see. He's not really saying anything, but you can tell though he's kind of being a little loud. And I don't know if it's a rumor. This is probably how rumors get started. So I mean, I don't want to run with it. But saying like he wants the ball in his hands a lot. Like he said about his son, he wants the ball in his hands a lot and being able to make a lot of decisions. But there's no promise that he's going to start. Probably won't start coming in
Definitely won't start.
Antonio.
And it's not Spurs basketball. You're not holding the ball for 18 seconds of possession.
Exactly.
Once
So
you cross half court, you're passing it, running off screen. Like, yeah, that's not us at all.
Yeah.
right.
And
we already got
Alec,
Steph.
to your point of like this being a likely outcome, Charlotte, Utah, and Washington, who are the three worst teams this year, are at 4, 5, and 6. So the
Okay.
worst three teams did not get top 3 picks. They
Okay.
went to Dallas, us,
So
and Philly.
they might be very much willing to
So
trade
all
up.
three of those teams are probably going to be on the phones every day between
Right.
now and the draft with us and with Philly and maybe with Dallas, but Dallas is going to say get out of here. And looking to move up. And what's it going to take? What's the price? So if we get that phone call, or if we're going to go make those phone calls, what is y'all's best trade package that you would want to go after?
So I really like what we've kind of talked about in our group. I really have liked this idea of trading 2 to Washington and getting the 6th pick and picking up a Trey Johnson and someone like a Bilal. I love Bilal, man.
Blue
I mean, I
Volley.
saw him play against us this past year.
Yeah.
He's a stud both ways. He's 6'8". He's long. He can shoot. He's definitely improved his shooting splits year over year.
Yeah.
Like the guy's really damn good. And I don't know if y'all remember this, but like I remember this after we picked Wemby in the first pick in the 2023 draft. He was tweeting, being like, or right before the draft he was tweeting like, I don't think people understand like how good Bilal is. Basically, he's like he should be in the top 10. He should
Yeah,
be
they were teammates for Metropolitan 92 in France. Like when
right.
they got drafted, they're on that same team in France together.
Exactly. So yeah, I think people underestimated him, and he's kind of showing it, like his growth year over year, and obviously French guy, French connection. So that, and then getting a Trey Johnson, and if we can somehow, then if we have Trey Johnson on our team, somehow get Devin off our books, and then just get rid of that
Real
$1
quick.
million a year, and then getting another piece that we actually need, either like a big guy or whatever it is, a backup big. I would love that. That would be sick. That would be. So
Well, that would build some depth that we've been talking, like some actual depth. Bilal coming off the bench or even starting at the 3 or something. That'd be sick. But doesn't that kind of just go against what you said? Also, like 2, you have to get an all-star back. He's no all-star.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. I guess, yeah. I don't know. Maybe we get somebody else in return. I haven't looked at the full roster, but I just
Yeah.
those two pieces center around those two
Yeah.
pieces for number two. And if we kept 14, like we get Shooter and Trey John. Like the guy, I don't know if y'all been seeing this. Like the guy can just flat out score the ball, like Trey Johnson can. I remember
No, no
watching
UT
him.
bias, right? No UT bias.
No, I mean, yeah, probably a little bit, but I mean, dude, the guy is so smooth, like
He
so
can
smooth.
shoot. He can shoot the hell out of the
He can
ball.
shoot
It's
for
All
sure.
it's
three,
a it's a
all three
pure
levels.
form.
Like,
So can Khan.
yeah,
Duke bias.
or
Duke
Con, that's
bias.
fine. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying though, right? Bilal, scorer, two-way player. Trey Johnson or Khan. That's both of those guys help our shooting like that, which is what we need. And then figure out the rest as far as like big man, backup big men, and all that stuff goes. Like I like that
I
idea.
do get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do. And if we're super high on someone, or we had been high on someone in that mid range from 5 to 10, all season when we didn't think we were going to get top four and have the chance for Harper, then maybe we could do it because we did see it to get Kawhi back in the day. We traded
Right.
up and traded
George Hill.
George. Well, yeah, we traded George
George
away,
Hill.
and we were
With
like,
the
dude, why are
big
we
three,
trading
we're
George?
like, please don't, please don't.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
George was loved in San Antonio, we were like, no, not George of all people. And then Kawhi became Kawhi. So if we are high on someone and, we can get value back, I could see us doing it. There's been rumblings in Utah now after they flat out hard tanked all season and got screwed, didn't get a top four. Hashtag that's what you get for tanking hard. But we do know Danny Ainge is a crazy mofo, and he tries to fleece for sure. But maybe he's real high on Harper and stuff. I would love to kind of go back to the Laurie if we could trade two and maybe even Devin and for Laurie and 5. I think that'd be something I would definitely think about. He's on what, 40 a year, 45 a year. That's why we'd probably need to throw in Devin to get that 30 off the books. But I mean, he's still just honestly almost as much as Giannis, like a perfect fit around Wemby, 7-footer, can shoot the thing, can post up down low. He would help Wemby on the defensive end on boards. So I'm still high on him. I know he had like all these back issues this last year. I'm pretty sure all that was, emphasized by the tanking. So that'd probably be mine, would be to get Laurie from Utah and trade back and take 5.
I could take
That's a lot of money to get Lowry back because he signed that new contract.
Yeah,
So
that's what I said. I think it's 45 or so, maybe.
46, 46, 49.8, 53.5.
Yeah.
front load it. They did. Oh gosh.
Yeah, they did it. Yeah, they did
A lot of
backwards.
money. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if he's making a massive difference to what Devin did, I mean, what did Devin do for 30 mil a year? So I mean, if he's going to come in and average 20, an actual 20, 8 boards, 5 assists for 45 a year, no offense, but that's way makes up the 15 million difference that Devin's been doing for us.
I agree.
Yeah, I think. I have a different favorite one. I think that I've circled, but for Utah, instead of Lowry, if Ainge says no, we just signed him, we just went through this last year, we're not doing that. We've got him on the books for 4 years. Get away. The other option could be a Walker Kessler to be our backup big behind Wemby.
Trade 2 for that for Walker
and like John Collins or something.
I mean,
well, I would need to kill like 3 birds with 1 stone if we're trading 2 for Walker. We need to get a couple more like shit.
Kessler and a pick, Kessler and a first rounder for 2 and Vassell. And then we move back to 5 and we still draft VJ Edgecombe or somebody.
Well, how much does Walker make? Do you know? Is he in like the 15 to 20?
Kessler is right now, next year, he's on his last year of his rookie contract, so he's at 4.8 million.
Oh shit, season. Okay. And
then
he'll probably demand about 20 to 25.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You get that really cheap, so you get Walker Kessler, you get the 5th pick and a future first. Maybe it's lottery protected or something.
Yeah. That does sound like we're getting fleeced, but dude, I am so high on getting Devin off of our books that I think I would do that. And we know Walker, like getting a backup center is like a prime position that we need to fill. So getting
Walker
him
Kessler was like a top 3 blocks guy too.
Yeah.
So the weight that would carry for the bench, and you could play him and Wemby together like for spurts. I don't know. I think that'd be cool too.
What about like adding in like a Jordan Clarkson or a Keontae George or John Collins? Not like any of those guys. Because like that would
I do, yeah. To make the money work, if we're gonna send Vassell, if Ainge wants Vassell back, they would have to send an additional contract to match that money.
And again, the only reason I'm saying that is because again, people are acting like that in any other draft that that Dylan Harper would be number one. Like this could be a guy that you build a franchise around.
Yeah.
So people could see that being like, all right, the Cooper lottery was a lottery. Like I didn't expect to win it. So this is actually a really good, piece, like a foundational piece to any organization. So I'm thinking about that and how in other GMs' minds and how people want to overpay or be willing to overpay. We could use that as leverage. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And I mean, yes, we even if we love him on the court, we know Spurs more than any franchise. Our Brian, our front office, when they conduct all the interviews of all the players, they're thinking about taking, they're going to ask, deep questions. It's all about, who this person is off the court and, philosophies and all that. So, I mean, God forbid if he's not, a Spur in the sense, even if he's the best, player, then that would very much enhance us to want to trade back for some player who we know, a Bilal or something like that, who we know would fit our team and is a need. He's a good person, like all that stuff. So it goes way beyond just, oh, dude, he's by far the best player on the court. Because, I mean, we've seen, we see that all the time, and they're not Spur players. Just if they want the ball in their hand, to
Right.
go put up 30 a night and be that guy, that's not going to be it, especially when we have Wemby. Wemby's the guy. So we need a guy who's very much going to accept, hey, your next 20 years on this front, you will never be the guy. That's just the facts. So if he's not that, if he can't accept that, and again, our front office, they'll find out quick. If he can't accept that, well, we're not going to jeopardize that and some drama in the next 5 years. You got daddy tweeting away on it. Like you've been seeing the past couple of weeks, like, oh, is this the Uncle Dennis
they're gonna nip that in the
situation?
bud real quick.
Yeah,
And
is
if
this
they
an
don't
Uncle
think they
Dennis right
can,
here?
it's
Like,
not gonna happen.
yeah, so we'll see.
Exactly. See, that's
Okay.
why I said realistically, I think that Spurs are smart enough to make the real move. And I think realistically, I don't know if we get Giannis or we pick up
Yeah,
that.
but we might just build actual depth. And dude, I'm good with it. We definitely trust our front office with whatever we end up doing. But yeah, it's going to be a long month until we find out.
Yeah, I got one more. So my actual favorite trade back idea
Okay.
would to be moved back to number 7, which is
Ooh,
New Orleans.
okay.
Don't say
And
Zion.
no, 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 no. That's what.
Oh,
No.
oh God,
Don't
I don't
worry.
want
I
fat
couldn't.
and all the tacos and churros.
Nah, bro. You put him on the Riverwalk, he's just gonna start rolling away.
Oh my
No
God. Dude,
shot.
that would just be, oh my gosh, open field day for Chuck and the boys on TNT,
Oh,
whoever, talking about the Zion.
Zion gonna love those big women down in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Don't worry. I'm not. That's not where I'm going. I'm going. I want to trade. I would trade back with New Orleans to the 7 pick, give them 2, and then who I want back. And they've probably got a strong grip on this man, but I want Trey Murphy. I
Mm.
want Trey Murphy. I think he is a impact guy,
Mm.
like absolute stud. He was a 17th overall pick 4 years ago. He's got a 3 ball catch and shoot, a little bit off the dribble. He's long, 6'8", 206, super long wingspan. I think that's a guy that you plug in at the 3, can play the 3 or the 4, whatever it is. Give him, oh, dude, he can lock up with anybody.
I,
That would be a lot of fun to me. So we trade back with New Orleans. We get the 7 pick. We can then maybe select Kaman Malawach if he's still there. I don't think he gets past Washington, Malawach,
you think so?
but I I mean pairing Malawach with Sar, like that takes all the shot blocking, rim protection responsibility away from Sar. You can just let him focus on the offensive end and let Malawach be the anchor. That seems like something that could work for Washington. So I think it'd be tough. But if I knew that Malawash would be there at 7, I'm calling New Orleans. I'm saying, hey, give us Trey Murphy. I'll give you the 2 pick and whichever one of our young core guys that you want back. If that's Vassell, great. Take him. I'll even, dude, I think that would be my number one go
I
to
didn't
is
know.
Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't know he averaged
yeah.
21 a game this past year. That's pretty insane.
I mean, Zion didn't play, but like 20
Right.
games again or whatever. So like this was kind of Trey Murphy's coming out year. And if you Brett Usher did a whole like 5-6 minute highlight reel on him earlier in the year, it's cold, dude. He's dunking on people. He's got this nice rainbow jump shot. I saw him in person in Dallas this season. Dude can score. He can lock. I'm telling you, he can guard 1 through 4, no problem. He's in passing lanes. He's deflecting balls. Like he doesn't need the ball in his hand. He can cut, play off ball, swing it. He, slasher, dude. Yeah, that's what
I
that's
feel
what
like
I
I
would
remember
do.
him lighting us up a couple times this season,
Oh yeah.
honestly.
You probably did.
Yeah.
That, and I remember I seen his coming out party for me was like I think it was his rookie year in like the play-in. He was locking up dudes his best guys. Like I seem to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great to add. I could see that. That'd be cool. I like that idea.
Are we all in agreement? Like if we trade two and we're not getting like another pick back, the only way we're doing that is for Giannis, right?
If we're like
Like we're not trading all these scenarios we just said. We're not trading two to get Bilal, but not get their sixth pick back, right?
for
Like
sure. Yeah,
the
Oh
only
yeah, no,
way
no,
we're
it's
trading
a trade
two.
back. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the only
Giannis is the only
way.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if we trade for Giannis, we get rid of two. We're fine. We pick up 14 or whatever. But other than that, we have to pick a like top 10 pick.
Yes.
yeah.
1000%.
Yeah,
Because that's what
yeah,
this
yeah.
year was for.
Yeah, that's what the 25 summer has been the summer the Spurs have been talking about for 6 years now.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
yes, exactly right.
All right.
Seems like that long. And like you said, if Malawach is still there, that would be great at 7. I can see him falling to
I was gonna say, thinking about the team, like Washington just got Sarr, they don't need him.
No, dude,
Charlotte
Sarr is
has
not a
Big
shot
Mark.
blocker, rim protector. That's what I'm saying. Like Sarr wants to be on the perimeter and score.
Well, then maybe they would take him.
Like yeah, that's why I'm saying I think they would. You let him be the anchor of that defense and just go block
Yeah.
everything and let Sarr go run around the four. You go 4 in, 1 out, or 4 out, 1 in. Malawach down low. I think that's their play, and that's why he would be taken. But
Interesting. Yeah, there's some options there, man. There's some options. There's some deals to be done. And again, I still love the idea of Khan. I love Khan Nipple.
Yeah, just as good of a shooter as Trey.
Oh yeah, he is. He's just cold with it. I can't wait to see what his younger brothers do too. I don't know. I didn't know that if you knew this, but he had like 3 younger brothers.
All wet.
Yeah, they're damn good. Now going back, if we didn't talk about really trading the 14th pick, does that still interest you? Like, does any player around that area still interest you? There is a guy who Maxime Reynaud, the guy, he's a French guy.
yeah,
He's from Stanford.
Yeah,
But
that'd be a massive overdraft if we take him at 14.
people are saying that he's moving up though. People are
He is to from the late second round to he might be fringe first round, second round.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, I get like the Wemby Canal, all that shit, but that'd be crazy if we took him at 14. But I mean, he's the right
that would
fit,
be
whatever.
that would be so bad. Right now, the big board I'm looking at has him at 38, and who picks at 38? The San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, so that'd be crazy.
So
I still don't think, no matter what scenario if we trade two, get Giannis, all that, I think we would pick up 14 unless we trade that as well. I think we're doing one of the picks, and if we do pick a top 10 guy, even if we trade back 2 to 5, 6, 7, I think then we trade 14. It'll be the same thing as this last year. I think where we traded 8 away for a 15-year-old, whatever. But I think it'll kind of be the same thing. It'll be a more desperate team who will just try to make a quick move. They like a guy at 14. They'll offer us something that we can't refuse. I don't think we take 2 top 14 picks, but maybe.
Yeah, If we trade the 2 pick away and we still have 14, then you have to make that selection. I think if we straight up don't pick and it's not a trade back, if we get Giannis, then I think 14 has to be a pick that we make.
Yep.
And a guy like Carter Bryant
or
Rasheer Fleming or somebody like that.
Both of them are popping right now.
Yeah,
I love
Carter. A lot of buzz around both of those guys, so it'll be interesting. I think 14 hinges around what we do with 2 though.
Interesting.
So,
there you go.
1 month, can't wait.
That was exhilarating, boys. Yeah, that was great. I think that's that's kind of all I had on the docket for us to talk about. But man, sheesh. I know as the weeks go on and we get up to June, we're gonna see more smoke screens, but we're also gonna see hopefully more clarity from Spurs organization and what other teams are wanting to do too, right? So maybe that can kind of help us solidify maybe where we do, right? Now we're just kind of speculating, but I like all of our speculation. Again, I don't think we can lose here. We just kind of run it. We pick 2, right? And we make things work. If we think Dylan's actually that good, we get someone like a Giannis and go try to win now. Or we trade back, build real depth, and try to make a first round, second round push at least next year, right? That'd be great. I
absolutely.
There's no doubt will be, I mean, unless injury side, it's all injury pending. But there's no doubt we're going to be a better team next year, even if we just take Harper and we just roll with our exact same squad, maybe minus CP or whatever. But like even that will still be a better squad. We'll have Fox for a full year. But that's not a championship squad by any means. Probably not even a second round or Western Conference Finals. But we'll see what
That's
route we
that
take.
progression. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big leap. I know, Alec, I know you said that you were pretty much, that was all you had, but I did want to ask you guys, shout out to Spurs Muse. They tweeted earlier this week their Spurs bench Mount Rushmore. So that they're the number
Ooh.
four guys that they had on their Mount Rushmore of Spurs bench players. And the four guys that they put on there, I actually loved it. And I think they might have nailed it. But tell me if there's anybody that y'all like comes quickly to mind that is missing. But they had Manu,
Okay.
they had
Boris.
Matt Bonner,
Nope.
they had Patty Mills,
Yep.
and their fourth one on there, which I thought was an insane, perfect pull, was Malik Rose. We
Ooh.
just talked about Malik a couple weeks
Good old
ago.
Malik.
Yeah. But is there anybody else that y'all can think of that like I know like Boris is on there, but he started some of the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
Boris was half starter. What about a Robert Ory? Wasn't he a half starter too, half off the
yeah.
bench? Like
Yeah, Robert
we,
Horry came off the bench a
he
lot.
almost single handedly won us 05. I mean,
True. Just
Yeah.
for that
That
reason.
inbounds right back
yeah.
to him in Detroit. Yep.
So I mean that'd be a pull. Robert Ory, if again, I think he starts sometimes half off the bench. I mean for sure, like the straight bench guy, obviously Manu, and then Patty got to be so like those are two for sure. I thought Malik was like a half starter as well, honestly,
Dude,
but
I
He
was
didn't
gonna say,
start as much as you might think though. Like he
okay,
he started like 30, 40 games I think in his final season with the Spurs and then
all
we traded
right.
him to the Knicks. But most of that it was kind of spot starting for injuries, I think.
I don't know if y'all remember this, but Steve Kerr. Dude,
I was gonna yes,
Steve,
dude.
Steve
He
Kerr. I mean,
had
like,
he had against Dallas when he came in, lit him up
he's basically the reason. Yeah, we
in
went
03.
back to the final. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
yeah. Dude, I mean, that's what the Spurs are built on, though. All these guys like we have so many who could probably be
Hey,
on there because that's what we're all about. Even throwing Matt Bonner in there, like y'all said, like we've always had these guys who we find and just freaking, I don't know.
I think Matt Bonner can go on there though, just because he's like the
Uh,
longevity, how long he was with us.
no, he's not
Yeah.
on mine,
He's
but
probably top 15 in games played in a Spurs uniform, if I had to guess.
Yeah,
So that's kind of the other thing goes into it. Like, because I think of a guy like Roger Mason, who hit a bunch of
nah,
big shots for us, but that was like a 2 or 3 year stretch. Like, that's not the
yeah,
longevity that all four of these guys had.
yeah.
and Tiago, he was mostly a starter.
He was
Just
starter.
starting. Yeah.
Fabricio, he
So,
was a starter too, huh?
Bobby.
yeah, he kind of played that Nesterovic role, that splitter role. Yeah.
Hey, what about if
Um,
Keldon stays long enough? Could Keldon be in?
If we
yeah.
win like two ships with them, then he could be one day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If he sticks around and keeps coming off but this was really his first year, like primarily off the bench, though. So it
True.
would have to be, another 4 or 5 years of
True.
playoff
But also,
contention,
yeah,
whatever
we
to get
can't
in
count
there.
anyone in there who doesn't have a ring. So I mean,
Yeah, all four of these guys have at least one ring.
yeah,
Let's go.
I
So
like it. Hey, we'll comment down below who y'all think who we're missing out on. Comment if you have a good pull. You know, tell us what you think.
Yeah.
yeah, and tell us what y'all's best trade back idea is. Is there something that we're missing with maybe a Brooklyn or a Charlotte or a Philly or somebody,
Yes.
or anybody else in the top 10? But yeah, I think that's all we got. Nick, we'll get with you, send you that T-shirt. Like Stuart said, like Alex said, we get to 400, and we're gonna send y'all one of our hats for free. So check that out. These are also available for purchase. Let us know if you want one. Hit the like button, comment below, hit subscribe, help us grow. And from the Spurs Bros, go Spurs, go.